All right, so this will come as a shock to a lot of you who are watching this particular thing right now. New polls about air patches and Mahama 2024 is going to beat either Kennedy, Agyapong, or Bawumia. This is a very sad news if you are watching this and you're an MPP supporter, because these days polls don't lie. Remember, say Assin North, no, these same people came out to say Assin North MPP was going to fail, and MPP said for they be. So they were putting money, they were doing banners, they were doing strong campaign, they were even inaugurating newly built AstroTurf and even doing their roads and gutters. Assin North for they be. We are not ready. We don't like you. MH and MPP lost, and they brought a song said Charles Opoku Sikano Yedi. So this is a warning sign to the new patriotic party, say Munimuwa Monshenda, and this is exactly what is really happening. With this new post are Ghanaian researchers together with researchers abroad, UK, US, or my call it, it is a doomsday. It is a doomsday tinye for the new patriotic party. Now let's look at this. The people's favorite, Bawumia. If Bawumia should win the 2024 flag bearership race in regards to the new patriotic party November 4th, research said he's going to lose to Mahama. Now, Yemfane said for some reason, Agyapong is able to win. If Ken should also win, Ken is also going to lose to Mahama. But percentage-wise, Agyapong will do better than Bawumia. Now, bet now I say enka in some I come here. Usually when I come, I make sure I come with facts and I know exactly what I'm talking about. So the advantage screen is a full 37-page document, 97-page document. You can see it on your screens. But let me be reading a project work in university baby. I'm going to break it down, let you see the raw parts. What is really happening? Because this post is just a determinant of what is really going to happen in 2024. Yebeshe Ken odds as in Ken versus Mahama. Yebeshe Bawumia versus Mahama. Yebeshe Answashe Alankash versus Mahama. And if you don't know, one person or destroy MPP chances Alankash. Because per project on the UK for research and Ghanaian researchers parties, they spoke to about 10,000 people in all the 17 regions, and they realized Alankash can pull 10%. So at 10%, yes, NDC not tree few or tree free the new patriotic party. Yes, it was screens. So this is the 97 page, but as I told you earlier on, I'll just be looking at the most important parts. The most important parts and that is exactly what I will be looking at. So share the whole thing. So it's for some emotion I didn't know screams the thing name say Jamian is about it is really going to come. It will share a year winner a whole screen so for us we are working on it to put it back on the screen, because I will see the graph as we are working to put that on the screen. We want you to know this particular report here it details everything what is really going to happen in terms of the 2024 campaign and even who is going to lose in a minute. The graph number 2 screens. But what is really going to shock you? What is really going to shock you and what you see in this particular report here, in there somewhere, the graph be by and a graph near the buy, somebody can catch it. They spoke to about 10,000 people. Okay, they spoke to about 10,000 people, and 10,000 people, or Makomenu wins them, and this is where we are going to see if Ken stand a chance or not. So you tell me, exactly what is on the screen. So let's look at this. Let me lower this mic because the odds of Mahama into share or much methodology approach more fan cheme sa part to or say they back down there unfortunately mean to me in school in fast enough, so more fan cheme. But I want you to see the whole thing into where original samples normally you could see they went to all the regions and they made sure they got a sample size or shemna or your projects worker university, all of these basics. So when you put one year project work and show more basically near say research near and California and regions higher the C percentage and only the overall sample size. If you watch on the screen, so they are giving us agenda. So I'm in Burma 53%, and the Kasa Astrid about 47%. Because I am 9 paying and Beman etso a year now age group na 31% of them do 34 years to 44 years. Their cano cast between so 17, 18 to 24 to 25 to 34. Yeah, they're now. So you could see in here say the majority of people are almost they really vote, the bracket of 24 to 44 years. In total, they carry somewhere like 60%. So they are going to decide the vote. Because if you add the 24 to 25 to 34, which is a margin of 29%, plus the 34 to 44 years, which also has a percentage of 31, or the 29 31 Eboma amount of 60%, those people are more like the determinants of this particular age. Now, as I told you earlier on, this is the unemployment near the and you can see here say dodo na ene omokasa dodo na Christians ebi me Islam ebi mo ye non-religious and ethnic for ene omokasa dodo na account for can made up about 45%, and obviously you could see very well here say most of the Akan people here in question, because they are more central region, eastern region, Ashanti combined, they carry more people. And first time voters here, 83% as compared to 17% who have already voted before. And I want you to look at this very carefully in terms of the first time voters. I told you, say, one more voting in 2001. Because it's about 22 years. If they were 30 years by that time, and are 34 years by that time, this time they should be in their early 60s and are getting to their 60s. And even if some people were 40 years that time, most of them are 60 something, 70, and most of them are by now dead. Okay, sad. So it tells you said those who are first time voters, they are 17%, and they really are going to cause a difference because the old timers only baby omujina MPP, NDC, Ometo, and floating voters within that particular margin almost said and so the 17% of my first time voters, and no and a year there. So this is the party one more no more kasa, but don't worry, you be do it's rather unfortunate. Say we can't scroll really fast, but at the end of the day, you be making sure say you be do. So right now, you share a parta Omusho, Mahama, and also Kennedy, Japan, and the rest. Unfortunately, I didn't win to me and quite fast as that, but at the end of the day, we'll try as much as possible to make sure that we get it. So this is the party's job approval ratings. Maybe uploading video that I'm over me, we will have to cut this particular part off, but we will be follower. We can also leave this part in. So as you can see, and also which video we now also call the part of Kennedy Japan. Then you can just scroll ahead because of we understand it is not really giving us the needed like that to kind of scroll faster into more far and chemi. Maybe see it could be a can more a visible and stuff, and that is the part it's a lot. Akakrani do what I say so that is it. So this has to do with the confidence and other things. And yeah, definitely we have to still do primaries and 2024 elections and I will show the key factors of the religion, healthcare, roads, jobs, economy. So one of the things are the major determinants in this whole election process are the jobs and the economy. That what people are looking for is jobs. Now, economy and jobs, it intertwines because it comes together. The other two key factors here is the education and corruption. You could see here, say education, the MPP might get something there, but when it comes to corruption, I think say bad. So yeah, share who leads MPP. All the voters, any voters be kasa you could see here say 16 Agyapong got started from the top. Mahmoud Baumia is up with 44%, and Francis Adenumo on my far left has 2%, followed by my immediate left which is Dr. Owusu Eeii Kotonusu near 2%. Now, Ken and Bawumia are the two main contenders in this race. Ken is going to get 35% according to these people, and Bawumia is going to get 44%. Now, if you think, okay, don't worry, I think it is true. But look into the middle. No. Baby undecided. The undecided is 16%. So let's take the undecided 16%. Near took in Agyapong, we get a whooping amount of 51%. So the undecided no choose who the leader is. But if the undecided, even if Bawumia 7%, krana, he is gone. He's the flag bearer. Tienye undecided na 16%. No, Bawumia even just 7%. Bawumia is gone. He's gone because all the 7 can 44, it gives you 51. Now the remaining 9, all the can't in Agyapong the anyone, he can't even make it up to 50%. So it tells you say on an advantage scale, Mahmoud Bawumia is tipped to win. Now that is what they are saying. But if Ken is able to do his homework, he can change the narrative and get the supporters of Alan Cash to add up his own, and at the end of the day he can win. And I think it all has to do with the message, the composure, and certain key things are in Gov't. Going into this vote, what people are looking at is simple. We want jobs, we want a better economy, we want you to fight your friend is a corruption. These are key issues among Gov't. Ken needs to take these kind of things into consideration very, very well. Now I am brought down in terms of party affiliation, but this is the in swing states. Now in swing states like the Ashanti region and central region near the Agyapong was leading by 39%. This is more like a threat to Bawumia because the undecided here is 19%. Now if the undecided here is 90%, and at the end of the day to me edits are 19%, so the whole thing is that undecided, you need to get a slim majority. So the undecided here, let's see Agyapong 10% are Canadian, he's far gone. So tapping into the undecided, that is the main goal going into this particular 2024 elections. Now it is very serious, but I'll say, do you view that Alan Kyerematen's resignation would affect MPP chances in 2024? Into any voters, Kasa and Ebiso almost say, what do you think about Alan Kyerematen's resignation from the MPP? And 46% say yes, it's going to really affect MPP chances of breaking the 8, as to 34% who thinks it's not going to really affect. Now look at this, the 20% which is coming here are the people who are undecided. Now undecided, they are the silent majority. They are the people who usually turn this whole conversation around, and they give us the shock of our life. Ken Becker was a showdown. It is really now. The general elections. Now, this particular general elections that we are watching here, we are watching JDM, that's John Dramani Mahama, DMB, together with others. Now, that's JDM, John Dramani Mahama, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, that's DMB, and AKK, Alan Kyerematen. You see, the first person who is tipped to win, John Dramani Mahama. John Dramani Mahama comes in with a whole percentage of 45.9%. 45.9%. And on an up scale, he's really up there. As to Mahmoud Bawumia with 31.3%. Now watch this. I'm taking it from my immediate right. The third person on the row, Alan Cash, Alan Kyerematen, and Alan Kyerematen here, look at the percentage that he was able to garner, 10.8%. Now trust me, it could change. The optics could change. The optics which will change could mean at the end of the day, Alan Kyerematen's vote could either go up or it could come down. So let's say he's in the comfortable 10%. This could be true because Trabosum Kwenya 1% in an election campaign. So it tells you say Alan Kyerematen can pull 10%. Now watch this. Your fan is Alan Kyerematen or the Ntumakobo Bawumia Diano. We have 10.8% plus 31.3%. So let's do this math. Let's round up the 10.8 to 11%, and let's still maintain a 31.3%. So we have 11 plus 31, and at the end of the day, it is giving us somewhere around 42%. It is just giving us somewhere around 42%. If you compare 42% as to John Dramani Mahama 45.9%, you will see that even if Alan Cash is in the party, they'll still lose. Now we have 6.3% are omoye undecided. No problem. Now so 6.3% omoye undecided no. For some reason no, yenka se Mahama ebenya emu just 2%, which gives Mahama score to about, let's say, maybe you're running in 45.9% and 42 kawa. You're talking about 48. It's 48 no 4 na ebeka no. Yenfa says 4 na ebeka. Yenfa Mahmoud Bawumia 42% no. Yeah, the count 46. Mahama is still going to beat John Dramani Mahama, Alan Cash, even if you have to split the undecided votes, and this is deadly. Remember, I said the others on the squad, CPP, Yohama Yariga, Chabosom and Co. So they are here to split the voter, as you can see. Now, all these things are equal. That's what we just watched was the general election. So now the general election 2024 and wait. And this one too, they are saying the same general election we are, and you could see here clearly says still Mahama is leading by a huge margin. And this time around, Mahama is getting 48.3%, as to Bawumia's 28% and Alan Kojo-Chemantin's 11.3%. And this time around, watch carefully. They're undecided on the fourth county, the green, the blue, the sea blue, the grey one undecided. It has decreased from 6.3% to 5.4%. That's a decrease. And even if we are to give this whole 5.4% and add it to that, Bawumia's 28.0%, what they count, we should be looking at somewhere like 33 or 34%. So it doesn't even match up to John Dramani Mahama's 48.3%. This is how serious the whole thing is. Now, Yembra down JDM, DMB, and other regional they are looking at everything. Now, here show the key factors here. Okay, let's look at the key factors that voters for Omushim. One of the major concerns that voters are looking at the Omujina Sotie voting. Let's take it from the far left. So you can see 11% now, which carries the more like a deep pink color. Not a man of his own. Per se, vote a man of his own. That is 11%. Among for integrity, among Dr. Bawumia, Lancash, and Bawumia who has integrity, 14%. 15% are those who can fight corruption. So you could see yes, the corruption is right in the middle. It's something I won't go for, and this time corruption has really not been a good thing. MPP doesn't have a good score in terms of corruption, because at the end this is the best case, and what we are seeing, and King Japon's ways exposing some of his own people hoarding and looting Ghana's economy. It is not auguring well for the New Patriotic Party. Listen to this: 70% counting from the far left on the fourth, and those who can transform the country. Transforming the country as to that is basically many factors. We are looking at roads, construction, jobs, and other things. Coming on to the fifth one, which is the deep blue color, we are looking at 21%. 21% are looking at better manager of the economy. Better manager. Why in me as a economy nema enkoye sena nema numaye basa. And honestly, MPP will feel at this point, because this is an economy, and this is an economy who have increased water tariffs, electricity tariffs. Okoto adia yes still COVID levy, NHIS, and every tax involved. Oh, yeah, cola, yeah, better. Oh, toilet, yeah, better. We are tax burdened in this country, and we are not getting anything in return. The ordinary Ghanaian cannot even save. I've spoke to a lot of people, and people are telling me, we are living hand to mouth. We are living hand to mouth. Now look at this very well. 21%. That's the more like the skill one, because 21%, 21% is like the economy, better manager of the economy, and the competence. It all falls on the same skill, 21. They are looking at competence. So these are the things that inform voters, and unfortunately Bawumia is not on a good skill, because we are just coming from his tenure. On Yakufo manage the economy, things are not going on well. The Obekin amount for the ACC or Mason. Now kushi ni akwahwe ada sana mekacha no the way Kennedy Japan too, and Ken's own is a bit shocking, because the whole lot of things in consideration are of course. So I'm skipping this part because I really want to get into the whole thing. And even in the swing states, let's take this. Even in the swing state, John Dramani Mahama is still beating Bawumia by huge margin, and you can see Alan Cash is still in the 10% lead, the 10% zone. He has been able to prove his points or not so for Penase. Now, this is where we come in. Look at this. For those of you who've been waiting for the Agyapong zone, this is the whole thing. Those of you who've been waiting for the Agyapong zone, this is the whole thing. What you are watching on the screen is general elections. That's John Dramani Mahama, Kennedy Agyapong, that's KOA, and AKK Alan Kojo Chairman. So what you are seeing, general elections, JDM John Dramani Mahama, KOA Kojo Kennedy Agyapong, and AKK Alan Kojo Chairman. This is unweighed. You have to weigh there now. Yeah, the percentage to has here. You will see, say this time around, Mahama is faring a little bit better than a year as compared to a year Bawumia. So this time around, Agyapong has 30% as to Mahama's 45.6%, and you will see clearly here, the even undecided voters. This is the fourth one counting from the right. The grey one, the Agyapong, he still doesn't even make it to 40%. Now, let's say this. Say, the Alan Cash, any undecided, boom, near the Agyapong one, he beats Mahama. He beats Mahama because we are having 17% plus or 18% plus 30%, which gives us around 48%. So, and Ken was saying something along the way. He said he went on this interview on Neat FM. He was saying, if he should win, he's going to draw Alan Cash in. So, if he drawing Alan Cash in, automatically gives him a 40% lead, which means Ken has to do the work of getting the 5% to secure the office of the presidency. It is possible, but it is tapping into the undecided. The undecided, no, you 2 cry the man Bawumia, you 5 at the marking Japan crana. We are still going to get a tie because we are going to have 41% plus 5, which is 45. Yet the 2 na kano eka. Your friend is saying, Mahama, we are looking at somewhere like 47%, and nobody's getting the 50 plus 1. So definitely we have to go for a runoff. Now, this is the weight. JDM John Dramani Mahama, KOA Kennedy Agyapong, and AKK Alan Kojo Chairman. This is weighted. Now, if you look at this very well, you could see that there's no really significant difference this time around. You win, you who say Mahama's lead have really jumped by 1.5% margin up, because previously was at 45 point something percent, and Ken has reduced by 0.4 because he was at 30 point something column. And Alan Cash has a little bit increased to 11.3%, and the undecided are still the same. So you could see clearly here, say, it's still basically the same. John Dramani Mahama is still going to win, even if Omodi Agyapong Eba, even if Agyapong is even able to get Alan Cash on board. We are going to see a 40-something% margin, and they just have to work around on getting the 7.5%, those who are undecided, and adding them to this whole thing, adding it to Agyapong and Alan Cash for them to even match up or be on par with John Dramani Mahama, 46.5%. Now, one thing you have to notice that during all of these things, NDC has been saying, nothing and nobody can come I be changing MPP for Adrian. Now, Agyapong has been very vocal about jobs creation and economy. The one thing on also M1 at the fact that he is in this administration, because this man who's been in parliament for the past 20 years. He's been voting yes for every legislation. Eeii, he was having a brain surgery. He came and voted. So Ken talks a lot, but in the actions, so usually is not on par with his speaking, because if for once Agyapong single-handedly stood up and say okay, criticizing a bill or so on, it will have made him a little bit credible. But if you look at a man who has really voted for all the bills, the ministerial position or can no crown a true be a suggest if the economy is going down spiral, you don't take yourself off. Even though you don't hold the ministerial position, you are the author of many people who are in office. So Ken on that way is not really having a year. Now, if Alan Cash, what I wanted to see here is, what if Alan Cash was the flag bearer for the New Patriotic Party, which means Alan Cash could have really done better, because Alan will have what am I saying? Alan Cash can do better because Alan Cash had a ministerial position, was a trade minister. So Alan Cash will probably have fared less or a little bit better to Kennedy Agyapong. But in terms of personality, Alan Cash will have got something more. So Kennedy Agyapong, the course. Now, moving on, swing states where a percentage near their choice of candidates near more share. Intuition has said the reason for choice of candidate didn't think of voting for John Dramani Mahama as against Kennedy Agyapong and Alan Kojo Osha multigraph na let me explain. Green one John Dramani Mahama, Agyapong carries the deep blue and Alan Kojo carries the sea blue, and at this undecided getting. Now, what's your competence level now? John Dramani Mahama, voters have a high competence level for him, and Agyapong comes in at 28%. Now, what's better managing of the economy? Still, now people believe Mahama, who is the green here, carries a lot of competence level as compared to Agyapong, holds 28%. Now, if you come to fight corruption, this is where Agyapong gets a little bit bigger edge. And this time around, among forecasts, Nipo bit fight corruption. Even though Mahama has 43%, Agyapong has been able to shrink Mahama's lead by a little margin. From 50% to 43, which means there's a decrease in 7%. Then this time around, Agyapong has upped his game by a margin of, let's say, 6%. People believe that Ken can really fight corruption, even though Mahama beats him on that stance. Now look at this very well. A man on his own, be of Kansema Odiso, they are still saying Mahama is a man on his own. And this time we are seeing Agyapong's numbers gradually being stabilized with 31% as compared to Mahama's 42%. Now, if you look at this very carefully, integrity, okay, I wish there was a Keza that I could show you, but I'm counting from the far left, so I'm on the fifth one. Okay, integrity though, people 43% people feel say Mahama has more integrity as to Agyapong's 31%. I would have loved to see this particular margin in terms of Baumi. Now, the person who can transform the economy, Mahama again goes so much, way more lead, and they are saying that Mahama has 49%, as to Kennedy Agyapong with 28%. So you can see here, this whole thing, Mahama is leading. The other can be for NT, and even in terms of religious, more people are in for Kennedy Agyapong. So let's look at this. Also, JDM John Dramani Mahama, Kennedy Agyapong in terms of religious, Christianity. One person on the ama Kennedy John Dramani Mahama 42%, and Christians also vote ama Kennedy Agyapong actually 34%. So you could see here in terms of Kennedy Agyapong, Christians also vote ama John Dramani Mahama BC. Now Muslims which carry the green one, he again increases his margin so much. But look at this, the others Agyapong beats John Dramani Mahama with 33%, and the 24%, which is the non-religious, to almost voti ama Alan John Dramani Mahama. Alan Cash, he is fairly in between. He's not really doing well because he's an independent voter, but he's making a statement. Voti ama John Dramani Mahama, yes or no. And this time we are looking at the first time voters. First time voters, yes, no. A deep blue, and a no a sea blue. So yes, first time voters, would you vote for Kennedy John Dramani Mahama, or 39% some vote Yamano, and the sea blue is the people who are not the first time voters, also vote only 48%, also vote Emma John Dramani Mahama. If you compare that to Agyapong is more like normalizing his gap. The first time voters also vote Agyapong 32%. Those who say we don't vote 30%, and you could see as a Ken has normalized his thing. He just needs to do his homework well, talk better, and have a great campaign message, and stop the infighting in Yamano. A war of sorts, and a battle of sorts. A war is a battle of policies and a battle of ideas and great campaign. Yeah. Now, this particular fact as registered versus unregistered voters, and registered voters, you know, deep blue and unregistered sea blue. Also registered voters vote ama John Dramani Mahama 47% as against unregistered voters vote ama John Dramani 42. In terms of Agyapong, Ken again has 30% for the registered voters and 23% for the unregistered. Alan Cash again normalizes his path with 11 and 12% respectively. So in regards with the swing states, swing states can still is losing to a year John Dramani Mahama. John Dramani Mahama 46%. Agyapong is somewhere around 27%. So what will happen is that probably if Ken should face off Mahama, we are going to go into a runoff. And now we are asking people, can MPP break the 8? Look at this. Whether Agyapong, can they break the 8? And as at October 23rd, and that's the latest polls are Airbus. You be saying, can MPP break the 8? Yes. Your friend is a margin. Yes, no, that's the green one. No, your friend is saying. Green one is July 23rd. Almost Dudwana say yes, but no. In terms of the percentage, one more believe say MPP ain't even break 8, 54%. Yeah, now we almost say October 54% say they be MPP the course won't even break 8. So akoswa, and this is the whole thing that Ewa has said. Now Young cost forecast way from Nanado, who lost MPP flag bearer, to Nanado's votes lost and gained. And this is Young Kohonu for now. But I want us to look at Bawumia's achievement again. If I can look at Bawumia, so I wish I could scroll this thing really well for it, because Emma Ejumano slow. Emma Ejumano a bit slow because school Brany and I don't know if you can type in 45 and press enter. Okay, you can type a number. So 45 enter. Still now Ember. So I think they also use the shift button. So me person me share a year Alan Bawumia chance as against Kennedy Japan there no, and you will realize say I wanted to just check and compare both of them and see which one is really doing well. Young schooling caught up. So sad say graph no amount of my in a way with me a speedy their cost run term is so sad. We just have to press. Unfortunately, that is it. In TTB do a year DMB a friend is saying DMB a Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, his chances. So you can see as a Ken has 30 as to, so Ken was losing by 50%. Let's put that in mind. But see, I share the margin in terms of Bawumia. So Ken was losing by 15%. As you can see here, Bawumia will lose by 18%. Wow. So which means Bawumia Bawumia people will lose more. Also, Ken had 30% somewhere here in terms of the swing regions, 30.something%. But here he's losing. Bawumia is losing 29%, which means Ken will even fare better. And I call states are any swing, and this is where they when I can Agyapong, because they're shocked to receive the shock of their life. They will receive the shock of their life. You will do what you see, okay? So just hang in the I'll bring this program to an end. More shares now. I'll just cut snippets of Agyapong's portion on near their mama. So at the end of the day, you guys can just say, by all share with I'll be to me escrolly a so this time around we have whoa, damn, this bad. In terms of election, Ken was losing 15%. But Bawumia is losing 20% as compared to Mahama. Bawumia is losing by 20%. Ken was losing by 15%. Ken was at 30. Bawumia, John Dramani Mahama was at 45. Now Bawumia is losing by 20%. 20 plus 28, 48. Menyon, bra Kobi, Menyon, bra Kwame, Menyon, But in terms of the unweighted, no, Baumia is more like on par with Kennedy Agyapong. But there's more work to be done. So it's for Hani Edi winning in ABC. Sure, yeah, they are. These things can change because there are a whole lot of factors are influencing voters. At the end of the day, what usually influences the voters, no, their mind can change, campaigns can change their mind. Perhaps if the economy changes over time, anything, because because I want to change in an MPP or this kind of tour for 2024 we just can go say who ya bona or Brenna or Brenna, you know, a few in so. But if it continues this way, Eeii, forget. I wasn't even Eeii, and Eeii. I swear, Eeii. It is MPP cannot win. MPP cannot win if the economy continues to go this particular way. It's very interesting. These kind of things. Stay to pinaxtv, bro.
So there's difference.
We have loads of messages at this time that we want to get onto social media on Facebook and read some of your, the questions for you, because earlier we asked people to send in questions for Honorable Kennedy Agyapong, and it's amazing the loads of questions that we have here just for you. You are loved, we must say, and the youth are really with you. But somebody wants to ask you this, and that's come from Mamesi, listening to us in Cape Coast. Says, has he ever suffered a heartbreak from a woman?
Yes. Why not?
Oh, you have?
Yes. Me broken heart. I had me bar. Make me a circle.
Oh, really?
Yes.
You lose your bearings.
Yeah. Why? Am I not a human being?
Which your first heartbreak will be when? You remember which year?
That was 1992 when the Dubois lost the election.
But from a woman?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What happened? Okay.
I said I got broke. Now me a showman kakra. That time I got broke and the woman left.
Oh, you financed that campaign of a Dubois?
Of course.
How much money did you put in that? Remember?
Personally, I gave him $300,000.
$300,000.
Then myself and Mr. Opongbiu, we used our company to took a loan of $3 million.
Wow.
Yeah.
In 1992.
Yeah.
You were only 32 years.
Yeah.
So you went broke after that.
You see, that is how you have to respect me. Those who underestimate me, it is not very easy for a young man of that age to have $1 million and 31 years down the line, he has consistently been a millionaire and even multiply it 100 folds.
Right.
It is not easy. So if you sit there and you think you have PhD and therefore you are underestimating Kennedy Agyapong because he didn't go to university, then you are making a big mistake. Wow. So to manage 100 million, 1 million, and
into
now
100 million.
Into 150 million.
So now you are worth over $150 million.
Oh, more than that.
$300 million?
I won't tell you.
But you're saying more than $150 billion.
Yeah, more than that. Why not?
We're on your heartbreak. So this woman, what happened after I do what? You went broke.
Broke. I got broke. Look, I went through hello. Because, no, she's still pretty.
Oh, she's still pretty. She's still around.
Oh, yes.
What did she say to you? She didn't like you. You didn't have the money, so.
They say I got broke.
And she wanted the money.
Yeah.
But it's the love first. If she loved you, she should.
Some women don't think like that. But maybe she's made a mistake when she hears me and all those things,
So when you become president and she comes back, you take her back?
As what? A friend, a good friend. Oh, but why? I don't know. No. As a good friend, why? We still have good day. When we meet, we chat, we do everything. No.
Do you still miss that? You wish that she had been your girlfriend?
No, every misfortune is a blessing
in disguise.
You see, maybe if she had not left me, my progress would not have been this.
Right.
So you never know.
Interesting. You remember your first kiss?
Oh, look, let's stick to issues.
No, we'll get to the issues. But also on the lighter side, somebody wants to know. Somebody wants to know from you your first kiss. You remember that?
No, I don't.
You don't?
I think I was around 2021.
2021.
Yeah.
Interesting. And your first wife is Madam. She runs the Net2 media operations. Or
no,
what?
she's not.
She's not.
Kenneth's mother is. She is second.
Oh, she's second. The one who runs Net2.
Yeah.
Interesting. And with all your children, anyone taking after you?
In terms of
business wise.
Of late, Ken is not doing bad.
Why? But before he was doing.
Oh, sir, youthful exuberance. When I was advising her, he didn't take it. One day he came to me and said, I want to talk to you, Daddy. It's okay. He sat down and he said, I want to apologize. I said, why? So, if I had listened to your advice, I would have gone far in life. And I said, no, it's not true. If you had listened to my advice, you would have thought that you're missing something out there. Now that you've gone through it and you see that you are not missing anything, it's a lesson to you. So now that you've realized your mistake, go on.
That is deep. And he's made you proud now. Last December, I was at one of his programs, Afrochella, and you came on stage. The youth and that massive support for you. Did you feel proud as a father that your son is a curator and founder of Afrochella?
Oh, yeah, why not? And,
what did he tell him on that night?
Yes. And they were in South Africa about 4 or 5 days.
5 days ago. Did marvelously well.
And yesterday, the president of Botswana invited him to come. They're going to negotiate with him to, You see, but last year, the Afrochella, the hell they went through. You remember he posted something that he was not going to do it in Ghana again. And no natural Ghana for his mind.
What, he didn't get the support from...
Yeah, the frustration. Almost billboards. They go and destroy their billboards.
Who?
They don't know. They are just
they are our own enemies, right?
Yes. And meanwhile, South Africa paid this boy $1.5 million.
To bring Afrochella to South Africa?
Yes.
Is he getting support from the government, Ministry of Tourism and all of that?
In Ghana,
yes. In Ghana?
No. Now, ministers or the FUNRA and Sobolo.
But that's to tourism. That's to attract tourists.
Massa, please stop that.
You don't go with that statement.
We don't need myopic thinkers.
So the Minister of Tourism
the way Ghana is, we need men with big brains.
Minister of Tourism says when you have a funeral, they'll bring a bus.
He's a myopic thinker. How can you tell us who the funeral and a bus they will sell so buru and people were clapping? I said, Jesus Christ, what a country we live in. My tourism ideas, you have no idea.
Share them with us. We want you to tell us. With tourism.
Let me tell you.
Let's take it sector by
Ghana.
sector. Yes.
These young men and women that have gathered here, some of them don't even know that Ghana is the center of the world. Ghana is the center of the world.
That's right.
The latitude 0 degrees and longitude 0 degrees is in Tema.
Correct. Meridian.
And we are not making noise. We are not making noise. We are not marketing Ghana, the center of the world. We could have built a hotel in the sea, like Burj Al Arab in Dubai.
That's right.
Center of the world hotel. Okay? My design here that I want to put on paper. First, the first 5 floors will be the shape of African continent. The second 5 floors will be the shape of Asia. The third 5 floors will be the shape of Europe. The fourth 5 floors will be the shape of South America. The fifth 5 floors will be the shape of America and North America. The fifth 6 floors will be Australia. So imagine the shape.
And when you become president, you do this.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
dare me, and I'm going to do it. I like people daring me.
I'm daring you.
And you
if
see,
you get the mandate, you'll do that.
You see what I'm going to do. Look, a black man is capable. That is what I want to inculcate into.
So that's one for tourism. Second one for tourism. What will you do? I heard you talking about putting, speed boats and ferries. Yes.
Let me tell you, even the Volta Lake, you go there and no activities.
There's a Dodi Princess.
Oh, please, give me a break. Give me a break. Asa, the way the world is moving, don't mention Dodi Princess to me. Oh, cry, you tie in also. We are my big thinker.
No, I'm asking.
You also bolare, you know, Ube mami example, also Dodi Princess.
I'm just saying what we have here in Ghana.
Broaden your horizon.
No, we know that we have the MV. No.
You need to dream big and think big and do things big.
Which I believe in.
And stop doing.
But I'm always saying that what we have currently, you think that is not the best.
Oh, Kakai.
Because we've been to the Dubai Marina.
Oh,
I know. I've been out there to Jersey, and you go to Pleasure Beach. You see what you have. You go out there to Brighton Beach, New York.
Yeah,
you know,
42nd Street.
Exactly.
Look,
so we know it, but why are we not doing it?
That's the question. Now you are not doing. If you put somebody like this minister there, what do you expect?
Let's leave the minister, and then we have some questions for you on X and also on Facebook. This one says, my question is, I will personally vote for him, but I want to know his plans for the Volta region, because the region is NDC. And
let me tell you, don't even land. This morning, I met Voltarians and told them, I'll be frank with you, the nature of the land over there, Rollins Sekura has done a disservice to his own nation. I swear to God. Hey, you see, let's leave politics and the polarization. And the way we indoctrinate people against, oh, na way Igbeni, and na way Srimini, and na way Asante. Please, if we don't stop that, we cannot develop this country.
Thank you.
Way NDC ni, way MPP ni. Look, NDC ni be a vision, a chair MPP ni. MPP ni be a vision, a chair NDC ni. So we should bring them together. Promote NDC business, promote MPP business. We are all one country.
Yeah.
Ghana. That's the only way we can move. Look, Volta region. This morning I told them, from Ho to Adaklu, Adidomi, then Sogakupe. I need 12,500 acres of land for ethanol.
Wow.
And if you remember, 2 weeks ago, the G20 in India, they are promoting ethanol.
Yeah.
And the easiest way of getting this ethanol is maize. Maize is cheaper than the cassava one in terms of the process. And 12,500 acres will give you 200,000 liters a day. Ethanol. Yes.
And for maize.
Yes.
And Volta region is fertile for that.
Oh, yes, my brother.
Wow.
You see, Northern region, when you compare it to Volta region, a comparative advantage, Volta stands tall.
Okay.
Because of the nature of the land. Northern region, problem I saw, they say, share no trees, a womb, and share no tree is also very, very important. So you cannot cut them.
All right. So we'll move on. Lots of questions. Yes. This one is from Akan. And Akan says that Ghana currently gets 5% from its gold, about 15% from oil. Will President Ken Agyapong renegotiate these contracts so Ghana gets at least 51%?
You see, getting 51% is tough. But at least I know Kenya, they get 40% from the minerals.
You're right.
Okay, we have to negotiate well. The word I don't want to hear is carried interest. I don't want to hear that. If I go into partnership with you, and as a country, even if we make a mistake and say 10%, if you are mining and you get 100 bars, I know 10% is 10. So give me my 10% bars, gold bars. Let me put it in the Bank of Ghana to show up my reserves.
Yeah.
Case closed. Take whatever you want. I don't want to hear carried interest when the business grows, your interest becomes so. No.
Practical. Interesting. No. We're moving on still to the questions. This one is from Sarah. And before Sarah is on, Hafiz says, please ask Honorable Ken Agyapong, why does he always want to reveal his friends' secrets whenever he falls out with them? That is bad. That's from Hafiz.
Whom did I reveal his secret? He has to tell me.
Okay. So, he didn't mention names.
He goes there to say that if he has a secret with you, if indeed what he's saying, I'm arguing, if he has a secret with you, and he knows he has a secret with you, Why then will he turn around to go and insult you and think that you have to keep the secret?
That's why you also come out.
Yeah, I'll come out and let the people know who you are.
So if they don't attack you, you don't
I
reveal.
don't. I know a lot, but I don't say anything.
Oh.
But when we attack, then I open the book.
All right. Ask him, any plans for constitutional reform?
Yes.
Like measures to tackle corruption in the past, government and its government?
That alone, you don't need constitutional reforms to tackle corruption.
How will you do that?
Corruption? Patriotism, honesty, and discipline. I'll use the discipline and honesty to tackle corruption. You see, in this country, Bolare here has been given opportunity to be CEO to run this place.
Right.
My ultimate aim of setting up this business for you is to maximize profit.
Profits. Correct.
But to maximize profit, the first 5 years, I want to break even to stay in business. Then after that, I want a. But what dear? What about you, 10 years, still, no money is coming to me. When I fire you, then they go and bring a pastor,
A judge.
a politician, a chief to come and beg.
You not have none of that.
No, hell no. When you are fired, you are fired. Case closed. Elsewhere, systems are working because there is no chief to beg. There is no pastor to beg. There is no priest. There is no politician to call and threaten. Even your own business, a private business. If somebody does something wrong, then you fire him. Then a politician will call you and threaten you.
You have none of that.
Can you do that in America? No. So when we have this kind of discipline and the barriers that we create, that look, we are not going to